Hello all, this is Revive Guive, aka multi-multimedia, and I am about to show you how I do free N64 type movement on Blender. Some of you may be wondering, why am I using Blender, not Unity or Unreal Engine? After all, they're both free. Well, first of all, for some reason, apparently my laptop isn't very good for gaming. Doesn't have the right graphics processor, yet it can play games on Blender just fine. Though maybe a bit more slowly. The fact is, I did Blender first, and I've learned quite a lot of stuff on it, and I was obsessed with the fact that most intended platformers on Blender have tank controls, and we know that doesn't usually work. Like with Bubsy 3D, it just feels so limited and just not as fun. So anyhow, if for whatever reason you're using Blender, if you're using that for gaming, making games sooner than Unity or Unreal Engine, here you go. Here's a little help. So obviously you're going to want to set it to Blender game mode, and we'll use the basic cube as a starting point. We'll change physics type, turn on actor, use dynamic. I never did learn about how the character mode works. And here the character will fall but not spin around if he hits something. Obviously you'll want a ground. Just add a plane right there. This is something everyone does with the Blender games. Static is okay. Turn on actor. And let's make it less confusing and give the ground a color. Nice grass green. And just to help us out here, why don't we get that camera set up right as well. Just face it towards the center. Get rid of rotation. Let's see. Now let's see, where's it at? There we go. So let's just, let's just try and set rotations to local. Start turning the camera around. And pull it back. GZZ will do nicely. We'll make it move in its proper local direction. That'll do. By the way, have the shading mode texture to make everything look its best. Yeah, never mind the light right now. What about we just get that camera attached to the very nicely to our central collision here. Oh, by the way, I like to have the collision even, at least around the sides, so cylinder collision bounds. So we're gonna make an empty and parent that to our collision box here. And then let's go to wireframe to see everything. I'm going to parent the camera to that empty. See, this is kind of important, because if we want to, you see, we'll have to either turn the camera side to side. We want to turn this collision box, but to tilt up and down, I'm gonna turn this empty around, up and down, so that the camera properly turns up and down. Alright, enough messing around with the camera. It's just, obviously we want the camera following the character, because character should be moving in relation to it. That's important. Now we're going to start adding controls. I'm just going to be using basic WASD, but you can use joystick controls, especially with some Python. But I'll just there are tutorials out there already, so. I'm just gonna let you look those up when you're ready. So, just a moment while I get some movement going. Just some simple movement, some simple location motion will do just fine. Let's just test that out. Right. F for forward. You see, even if you use joystick, I use joystick Python, and it's basically forward, backward, left, and right. You'll see how I make that work very soon. just as well fast forward this part. Almost there. I probably won't be saying anything about jumping because there's already good tutorials on that. I learned from those, basically. You know what? I'm not even going to bother titling that motion. Okay, there we go. Our collision box is, wait. Okay, there we go. Now let's apply a character to this box. What you want to do, though, is make a few adjustments in edit mode. Just subdivide. Let's turn this on to see through. Choose the two outer vertices. Press F to make a line between them, then subdivide that line and select that middle point. Now, we're going to put in a character. Now, usually what you want to do is have an object parented to an armature, a skeleton, but for the sake of this demonstration, it's just going to be a cube. Looks like I had the cursor in the wrong spot. Just give us a name too, like guy. Excuse me. And then what you want to do is vertex parent that to the cube. Now what this will do is, now you have that middle point selected, so just Control P and make vertex parent. Now what this will do, see, no matter what way you turn this collision box, it won't affect rotation of the character. An important step to that free movement. Just for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to add camera rotation by setting up some simple rotation controls to the cube. Yeah, that's one thing I do. that seems to work best for me. Have the left and right camera movement from the cube. So let's see, arrow. What's a good direction to, if you want to go left, should move, camera should be turned towards the character's left shoulder, right? So let me see here. Let's try this. Go back to camera view. Test that out. Wait. I forgot something. You'll want to give the guide no collision. Otherwise, your whole setup will just be flying all over the place. Or you can make him a sensor if you want him to your character to sense things. But that's another story. So here we go. See if I turn the collision box, the character doesn't. On that note, let's make the sensor. Oh wait, wait a minute, I just changed the wrong object. Let's change guy to have no collision or a sensor. So here we go. And we'll make their collision box invisible. So let's finish putting in the camera motion. Now here you have some pretty free motion already. You just move all around. Just turn the camera around however you please, but the main character doesn't change direction accordingly. So here's what you do. You're gonna have... what I do is basically, rather than have any true sort of change direction, I basically give the appearance of the character changing direction. Now the way I do that, I have this outside object no collision, which is basically an arrow. It's like sort of like an arrow. Let's see. You'll see what I mean. Now this arrow is going to be following our collision box always with a camera actuator. Doesn't really matter which one you use, because by default, unless the object is moving, it's always going to be in the center of the collision box. So let's just watch that in action there. Can't really see it too well. Let's see. See, there's your arrow thing trailing behind. It's not really, doesn't really look like an arrow, but that's not important. And now, let's just make that invisible. Go back to texture mode. Here's the most important part. Here's your guy. And every time you press any movement keys, in this case, for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to say all keys. Whenever you press any movement buttons, joystick or whatever, you're going to want to set your guy, your armature, to follow the arrow that is, you want his backside to be following the arrow. It's at his back, that while your character is moving, your armature's back will always be pointed towards that trailing arrow, giving the illusion of your character changing direction to move. And 3D tracking isn't necessary unless your character is airborne. So let's just give that a try right there. Okay, I don't know why I just started out spinning around. You know, when you're using an analog stick, you want to make sure the arrow object is trailed, is not precisely at the middle when your character is following it. That's probably why this weird spinning motion here. Okay, for the most part it looks okay. Now, just a note on the side. If you want to have this character spawn anywhere, the only way to have the arrow spawn with it is to make all this a group instance. What you want to do is make everything part of a group. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother naming the group. Add absolutely everything to a group, or else it all messes up. Now why don't we just take everything, move it to another layer. Go to another separate layer. By the way, if you always want to start your game with from the camera's view, go to whatever object you want, like the camera. Use a scene actuator and set the camera as your camera. Now let's make an empty that'll spawn your character and start the game. Always tap edit object, add object, group. Now let's start the game again. And there you go. Have a free moving character which just move however you want. It turns around accordingly, and there is no Python required for this sort of positioning of your character. And so this is how you start making a true N64 game on Blender, should you choose to use it and not use the free and possibly more capable and popular options of Unity and Unreal Engine. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Rate and subscribe. See y'all later. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, yes, you can turn the camera however you want. It won't affect the object. It'll still move accordingly. But since I originally set it for all keys to make the guy follow the arrow, I just that means the camera buttons just made it happen when I didn't want it to. So I just took the time to arrange only the four direction keys to trigger the guys changing direction. Same movement, how you turn the camera. And I guess that's about it. Thanks for watching.